All right. Well, I'd like to welcome everyone to the inaugural 5 Questions. I'm Todd Capps on behalf of the Common Table Foundation. And today we are joined by our good friend, Spencer the Guinea Pig.
Hi, Todd.
Hi, Spencer. We're going to just jump right in. We've got 5 questions to ask Spencer. And the first question is, what do you stand for?
That's a pretty deep question straight off the bat. I think in today's world, I would answer that by saying, what would I kneel for? And I say that because I kind of think Colin Kaepernick should win the Nobel Peace Prize. He had kind of a life-altering, peaceful protest that he got a lot of flack for, which I could never understand, taking a knee. But I think if everyone took a knee for equality and for financial equality, for social justice, it's almost like it brings the awareness was the start for the whole thing. But now I feel like because of everything that is not going on around us, there's much more focus on things like awareness of how we can make things better. Not answers, but awareness.
Yeah. I like that. I like the idea of what you would kneel for as opposed to what you would stand for. Second question is, tell us a brief story of a turning point in your life and why was it significant?
A lot of turning points in my life, for sure. One of them that I couldn't think of is kind of the way I started Spencer the Gardener, but in the 80s, I was living in London and Europe back and forth between here and there. And I was on a train in Italy going to Rome with my girlfriend. And we decided to take an all-night train. We were like 5 hours away. And we thought we'd save money, not get a hotel room. And you know, so we got a train and it was the middle of the night and the train was packed. It sort of defeated the purpose because we figured we'd go to sleep in this train, and I was standing. Some point in the middle of the night, I just laid down, closed my eyes, fell asleep for a couple of minutes, and I woke up just going, I really got to do something with life. I've got to like change a little bit and just, I mean, I'm still pretty good at living a frivolous life, but at that moment I was expert at it. So I just it brought me back here. It brought me back into music, and it brought me into focus a little bit more. It's funny. I think the world is doing that right now to people. It's especially doing it to music because, I mean, we're all at that crossroad. We're all on that train right now. The train is empty. There's nobody on it. And you're looking around going, well, now what am I going to do?
Right.
Because they're both the same thing in just, 25, 30 years different time.
Question 3, what problem must be solved?
Well, equality, financial equality, social equality, just, there's a common thought by those that think along those terms, which is, for the greater good, and the life moves along better if everyone is moving along with it.
Indeed.
And, corporationalism, it's like there was a time period where everybody was afraid of communism, and people have been afraid of everything during my lifetime anyway. But I would say that corporationalism is the most quiet and deadly force that has come along. Colonialism, which is much more like in your face, kind of, like you just go take over places and put up your own flag, which happens in a subtler way. People move to different countries and go, I love it here, and then they just want to change everything about it. Everybody says this phrase at some point in time, I just want to live. But that means many different things to so many different people, which is colonialism is sort of the strong and powerful conquering the unassuming, and sort of like, for instance, the I just want to live, says a guy who lives on the beach in Mexico and fishes for a living. I just want a guy who buys all the beachfront property and then puts up a golf course. Each one of them saying sort of the same thing. They just have a different view of what it is that they want to do with their life. And the strong and the driven will conquer consuming all the time. And that's a problem. That's human nature again, too, everybody has a different drive. Opening up about 15 cans of worms with each answer. But move along.
Well, moving along, if there's sort of a third part to that, the question of what problem must be solved. And I would be curious to find out what you are doing about it personally, the solution. How do you represent the solution?
God, I embarrassingly enough, I don't really have a solution. I mean, I guess really what I do is in entertainment and music. I mean, I suppose that my strong point is bringing people together in the idea of having a collective good time, or just feeling a collective sense of joy for the world in general. Whether or not, I mean, that helps. I don't know if that certainly doesn't solve any problems. It helps things along, I think. I don't know. What do you think?
I actually think it's critical and essential. I think that, there is so much going on that is pulling us apart, creating isolation, creating division, and such an emphasis on all the ways that we are opposed to each other, that while we are taking a knee and taking a stand, there's the other side to all that is we also have to rediscover the things that bring us together and remember the things that bring us together and be reminded of those things. And I think central in that is music. I think it is the most common of the commonalities.
Could I just take your answer and spin it around?
But so I think that's what you do. I think that's what you represent in our community, certainly.
I hope to represent that. I mean, that was very eloquent. So
well, thank you, Spencer.
I'm going to figure out a way to put that into my own language so that I can sound more
eloquent. Question number 4 of 5 questions. Tell us about a key mentor in your life, and how was this person important?
Probably everybody has this. Not everybody, but I actually no, probably not everybody does. I'm probably pretty lucky. But there was a guy, his name is Steve Lewick, and he was in the neighborhood. He was a few years older than me. And I just thought everything he did was the coolest thing in the world. And, he played basketball with me. He played football with me. I mean, I was like a diversion for him too. So to this day, he took me to my first concert. He still recommends books to me that I read.
Nice.
I read them. So he still exists in that same function for me.
And it's how cool that you're still in touch.
Surprised to hear this.
That's fantastic.
I'll have to figure out it to him.
Yeah. Last question for today, to Spencer Barnitz. What gives you hope?
What gives me hope? I would say, it's a weird answer, but the arrogance of youth gives me hope, because I think that, it's not necessarily, it's definitely not going to be up to me. And again, I'm not evading that, but there is a strange thing that as much as I dislike it, I still like it, is the arrogance of youth. It keeps you. It's what made us all start bands. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, it is what
definitely.
look at the world as if nothing else exists except for you.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a terrible thing, but in a way, it's a good thing because that's how you are able, I think, to change things.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, whether or not it's for the better or not, it's you need to have a certain amount of moxie, I guess, to actually go out and do that. Because as you get a little older, you know, people say, if I knew then what I know now, but that is an impossible statement because you know now what you know, and if you had it then, you would just disregard it. Everybody told you everything you know now, and you disregard it all then.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, the arrogance of youth. Well, on that note, I do see a guitar behind you, and I don't want to put you on the spot. Um, but if you want to sing us out, we've got another minute or so while I sign off. If
Are you going to sign off of me playing?
I'll sign off, I'll sign off now while you're getting ready to play. But
This is a song. Can I say one thing?
yes, please.
This is a song about growing up on the Mesa, essentially, and it's looking through the eyes of somebody now and seeing it all as it moves through them, and it's about, you know, relationships that you've had through your life and not seeing somebody and just thinking about them still. And I mean, they could be anybody you want. In this instance, it happens to be a girl, but that's what songs
Okay,
often.
yeah. Spencer Barnitz, and thank you all for joining us for this first of the 5 questions series on CAPS. And on behalf of the Common Table Foundation, we'll see you on the next one.
Warm nights, sleepless and sunny days, and feels like it will never end. And Mesa, that's where we watch the world just go by. Never too many questions. Bye, baby, can't wait to see you again. Bye, baby, can't wait to see you again. Stay strong, live it up free and easy. Know that you touched me, baby. Times change, people then come and go, and lately, wondering about you now. And bye, baby, can't wait to see you again.